As part of our application development process, we often need to deal with dates. Let us get an overview about dealing with the dates in Python. Datetime is the main library to deal with dates. It have classes such as datetime as well as date. These are the classes that are part of datetime library that can be used to deal with dates. Datetime is primarily used for date with timestamp, and datetime.date can be used for date without timestamp. When we try to print the date, it will print as below. It is due to the implementation of string representation functions such as __str___ or __repr__. This is how the output will be. So this is year, this is month, this is day, this is hours in 24-hour format, this is minutes, this is seconds, and this is milliseconds. We need to format the date using format string to display the date the way we want. These are typically used along with functions such as strptime and strftime. These are the format strings for year, month, and day respectively. This is for 4-digit year, this is for 2-digit month, and this is for 2-digit day within month. There are quite a few other format strings, but these are the most important ones to begin with. Also, datetime library provides functions such as strptime and strftime to convert strings to dates and vice versa. Other important modules to manipulate dates are nothing but calendar, and also as part of the datetime there is something called as time delta. It is primarily used to perform date arithmetic, whereas calendar is primarily used to get the calendar related information for dates such as day name, month name, etc. Now let's import datetime as dt. dt is the alias for datetime. If you use this datetime.now, so datetime is the class which have a function called as now. It will just return the current timestamp on the server. So when I run this, the current time is nothing but 2020 December 11, 9 AM 56 minutes and 6 seconds, and these are milliseconds. If you want to just get the date without timestamp, this is how you can get the date without timestamp. As part of the datetime, we have date, and within date we have today function. It will actually give us the today's date. Now, if you want to convert this to a particular format, you have to use the function called as strftime. In this case, I want to convert to YYY, which is nothing but 4-digit year, hyphen MM, which is nothing but 2-digit month, hyphen DD, which is nothing but 2-digit date. So if you want to get this, you just have to say day.today.strftime in brackets. You just have to pass the format as string. Now the date will be displayed in the format we are looking for. Now if you want to print it using year, date and month, or date, month and year, you can just change these things. You can say %d, then %m, then %y, and you should be able to see the output in the form of date hyphen month hyphen year. If you want to use / as the separator between these things, you can actually use / like this, and it will actually get us in this format. If you wanted to convert this to number in YYY MMDD format, then it will look like this. You just have to remove these /. It will return the date in YYY MMDD without separator. However, this is of type string. To convert it to number, you can use int constructor, and it will give us the date in the form of number in YYY MMDD format. Now, if you wanted to convert datetime to the format you are looking for, in this case YYY-MM-DD with hours 24 and then colon minutes and then colon seconds. This is how we should be able to use strftime on top of datetime now, and we should be able to get the date and time the way we want. We can run this and you can actually see the output. We can represent this data as integer, and hence we can convert the data type, which we have seen already. So this is a reiteration of what we have seen earlier. We can run like this. As I have explained earlier, I am not repeating again. Now, if you want to convert string which contain date using format YYY-MM-DD as date, this is how it will look like. So in this case, we are trying to convert string to date. Earlier, we have converted date to the string the way we want to see. Now we have the string which contain the date information, and we want to convert to date type of object so that we can manipulate dates as dates. strftime is primarily to convert date to a string. strptime is primarily to convert string to a date. So in this case, as our string contain year first, then hyphen, then month, then hyphen, then day, we have to pass the format strings accordingly. These should match. Otherwise, you will get incorrect results. You have to make sure that you understand what contain what here, and then you have to use the format string accordingly. So in this case, the first part is year, the second part is month, the third part is day. If you misinterpret the first part as year, but the second part as day, and the third part as month, and if you change this, then you will get the results, but it can be incorrect. So you can easily get into the bugs. So make sure you use the format in which the string is supposed to be interpreted, and then pass the format string accordingly. Now you can actually see the output. It have returned the date 2020 October 7th as datetime object. Because we are using strp time, it will by default convert to datetime object. If you wanted to convert to date object without timestamp, then you can invoke date on top of it. Now you can see that it have returned date object. Now let's see how to convert number which contain date using format YYYMMDD as date. strp time expects first argument to be string. So this has to be string. You cannot pass the number. So in this case, if I try to use this without this string function, because we are passing it as integer, it will fail. To overcome this, we have to typecast it to string, and then we have to tell how it should be interpreted so that it can be converted to date. Now you can see that it is typecasted using str function, and this is supposed to be interpreted as 4-digit year, and then 2-digit month, and then 2-digit date, and that's why we have passed this argument like this. Now it should work. Now it have created a datetime object with 2020 October 7th. Now if you have timestamp and if you want to convert to datetime, this is how it will look like. You just have to make sure that the format string is built properly based upon the information we have in the string, and it should work without any issues. You can see the output here, which contain hours, minutes, seconds on top of year, day, as well as month. It's actually year, month, and day. Now we have calendar. Using calendar, we should be able to get what is the day for a given date, and a few other things which are typically calendar type of functionality. I'm just showing one example to get what is the day of today. So to get today's date, in this case I'm importing datetime as dt. So using dt.date.today, we can get the today's date. You can see the output here. Now I can actually say d, and you can see the datetime object output. Now calendar have several functions as well as statements. If you look at day_name, it is nothing but a list which contain all the 7 day names, such as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. So the first one is Monday, second one is Tuesday, third one is Wednesday, so on and so forth. If you want to review that, what you can do is you can just say list of calendar.day_name, and you can run this. You should be able to see the days that are part of this variable called as day_name within the calendar class. Now we need to ensure that one of the 0 to 6 are passed to this so that we get the corresponding value. Now to get 0 to 6 within a week, calendar have a function called as weekday. You can get the help on weekday like this, calendar.weekday. You can run this. You can see that it takes 3 arguments, year, month, and day, and it will return 0 to 6. Now for today's date, let's get the year, month, and day. Already we have the d which contains today's date, which have year, month, and day. On top of day object, or on top of date object, which is nothing but d here. So if you actually look at type on d, so let me actually run type on d first. So in this case I'm saying type of d. You can see that it is of type date. It have objects such as year, month, and day within it. You can actually say d.year. You can see that it have returned 2020. Similarly, you can also say d.month. It will return 12. Similarly, you can actually say d.day. So these are nothing but attributes of the date, and it returns based upon the value it have. So the object contain today's date, which is nothing but 2020 December 11th, and we can access the individual attributes such as year, month, and day using these attributes within the date object. So these are attributes, not the functions. If they are functions, we have to use circular brackets. Now using calendar.weekday, we should be able to pass year, month, and day. So in this case, I can say calendar.weekday like this. The first one is year, so I can say d.year. The second one is month, third one is day. So I can pass all the 3 information, and we should be able to run. and you can see that it have returned 4. Now, if we pass 4 as part of the day name, which is nothing but a list of days, whatever it have as part of 4 index, it will return that, and the index starts with 0. So if it is 0, it will be Monday. If it is 1, it will be Tuesday, so on and so forth. For 4, it will be Friday. Now we should be able to pass this like this. So as part of calendar.dayname, I am passing whatever weekday we got for today's date, which is nothing but 4, and we can run this and we can get the today's day, which is nothing but Friday. This is how you should be able to leverage calendar and start extracting the information such as month name, day names, and so forth. So make sure that you spend enough time to understand some of the basic functionality related to calendar as well, because we have to use that quite a bit. For example, if you want to validate whether a given day is a weekend day, which is nothing but Saturday or Sunday, in those scenarios we have to use this calendar.dayname, and calendar.dayname doesn't give it directly. We have to pass the information in a particular way to get the day. First, we have to get what is the day within the week using the weekday function. For weekday, we have to pass year, month, and day, and then we'll get what is the weekday. We have to pass that to get the day name. So you need to understand this flow, and you have to use these functions or statements or attributes and get the information you are looking for. Spend enough time to understand some of the basic functions with respect to date, date time, and also calendar, and be prepared to solve a bit complex problems based upon your requirements.